Forget modern gyms and spas. Imagine this. Over 2,000 years ago, in the heart of ancient Rome, going to the public baths was the ultimate daily ritual. But what if I told you it was about so much more than just getting clean? We're talking about a thriving social hub that was a vital part of everyday Roman life. Did ancient Romans really have a social spa? Yes, they absolutely did. And it wasn't just a few bathhouses. We're talking about a massive system that served millions. Imagine walking through the streets of ancient Rome. The year is 100 AD. The sounds of splashing water, lively chatter, and a hint of olive oil fill the air. Everywhere you look, you see monumental bath complexes. These were the thermae, big word, but it just means warm places, the ultimate ancient wellness centers. Think of them like ancient community centers, but much more common. In Rome alone, there were hundreds of them. So, if you thought the spa was a modern invention, the Romans were way ahead of us. So, what exactly were the ancient Romans doing at these bathhouses? It definitely wasn't just a quick shower, but they had some truly interesting and detailed rituals. One of the most common activities was the apoditerium or changing room. After undressing, you'd move to the tepidarium, a warm room to prepare your body for the heat. Next was the caldarium, the hot room with a steaming bath like an ancient hot tub. They'd scoop water right out of large sunken pools. Think of it as a satisfying ancient sauna or steam room. You could also get a massage, often with fragrant oils. And for those who wanted to cool off, the frigidarium, a cold plunge pool, was the final stop. It wasn't just about cleansing your body. It was about a whole wellness routine, especially if you didn't have running water at home, which was common for many city dwellers. Now, who exactly was lining up at these ancient Roman spas? Was it just for the rich? The truth might surprise you. While it's true that many city residents, especially those living in small apartments without private facilities, rely heavily on public baths for their daily hygiene, these places were for everyone. Laborers on their way home, busy merchants, travelers passing through, and even senators would stop by. It was a common part of daily life for all kinds of Romans. It wasn't just about the bath either. These places were social hubs. People would gather, chat, share news, and maybe even play a game of dice. They were noisy, bustling, and full of life. Imagine the ancient world's equivalent of a busy community center, alive with chatter and the aromas of oils and steam. So, why did public baths become such a huge part of ancient Roman life? It all comes down to one main idea: convenience, and a few other very important reasons. First, imagine living in a crowded multi-story apartment building in a city like Rome. Many of these apartments, called insulae, didn't have proper bathrooms or running water. Cooking over an open flame was a huge fire risk, but so was heating large amounts of water. So going to a public bath was simply safer and much easier. Second, the Roman day was long and busy. People worked hard, whether in the forum, at the docks, or in workshops. There wasn't always time for a lengthy at-home cleansing ritual. So a quick stop at the baths was incredibly helpful for busy Romans. It allowed them to clean up quickly and get back to their daily tasks. It truly was the ultimate ancient convenience and social hub. But here is something you really wouldn't expect from a public bath. Many of these bathhouses were surprisingly decorated. They weren't just drab, plain halls. In places like Rome and Pompeii, archaeologists have uncovered beautifully painted walls and intricate mosaics inside these humble public spaces. Sometimes they showed images of mythical sea creatures or gods. Other times, they had colorful scenes of heroic feats or even everyday life. It's like having murals in your local spa. This tells us that even these everyday places had a touch of Roman style. It made the experience more pleasant, more inviting. It wasn't just about cleaning your body. It was about the atmosphere too. The Romans clearly valued good hygiene and a bit of beauty, even in their public facilities. Now, let's talk about the less glamorous side. While convenient, ancient public baths faced some serious challenges when it came to health and hygiene. With no modern filtration, the water could get dirty quickly. Communal bathing meant diseases could spread easily, and shared tools like scrapers or strigils could also be an issue. So, while refreshing, bathing in a public bath wasn't always the safest bet. Cases of sickness were likely common. The Romans, like all ancient peoples, struggled with understanding germs and how they spread. But for many, the need for a quick, affordable cleanse outweighed these risks. It was a choice between getting clean and socializing or not at all. How did they manage all this? They didn't have fancy towels or shampoos, of course. So, how did the Romans manage their ancient spa day? They didn't use soap as we know it. Instead, they would rub their bodies with olive oil and then scrape it off with a curved tool called a strigil, taking the dirt with it. Liquids like fragrant oils were carried in special clay flasks called ampulla. This simple system worked surprisingly well for centuries. It was reusable, practical, and a great example of ancient ingenuity. They didn't need modern products. They made do with what they had, and it served them perfectly for their daily rituals. So, what can we learn from ancient Roman public baths? It's more than just a historical curiosity. It shows us how basic human needs and behaviors remain the same across thousands of years. The need for cleanliness, community, and social gathering is universal. Just like today, busy city life in ancient Rome created a demand for convenient wellness and social spots. It tells us about their economy, their social structures, and even their daily struggles. It also highlights the amazing adaptability of human societies. No matter the era, people find clever ways to stay clean, connect with each other, and make life a little easier. The Thermae wasn't just a building. It was a heartbeat of the Roman city. From the bustling streets of Rome to the modern spa, the story of public wellness is truly ancient. It's a reminder that many of our daily habits have roots far deeper than we realize. The Romans didn't have our technology, but they understood convenience and community when it came to a quick wash and a good chat. What do you think was the most surprising thing about ancient Roman public baths? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed uncovering these ancient ways, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Ancient Ways Discovered, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. We'll be diving into more incredible ancient secrets very soon.